Morning, morning. Happy Wednesday. It is January 15th. We're moving right along. NFL playoffs are our main focus right now, AJ.
Yeah, certainly. Um, just we got the schedule because the
Yep.
Rams beat the Vikings. We didn't add that to our sheet, so surprise. Um,
Yeah, I kind of forgot that there was a game since our last episode,
yeah,
honestly. Sunday was just such a big day. It felt like everything was wrapped
yeah,
up. And then, yeah, we really did. It was like, it was a good game, but it just wasn't close. Like the Rams, just,
yeah.
I feel like, yeah, like it was good to see them playing the way they were. But yeah, it just feels like McVay's up to something. It feels like,
They
yeah,
got
like Stafford's got some mojo
I
right now.
I hate to be like that guy, but they got that like natural disaster momentum behind them. Like they're
True.
no
I
longer
mein,
playing for themselves; they're playing for the
yeah, they're
state
playing
of
for a city.
California
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
these people who
Yeah.
lost
I
everything,
think like my
including
only doubt.
probably some people in the organization.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's
Yeah,
what we joked about with them sending the plane, the Cardinals sending the plane for the dogs and cats and kids and fish
yeah.
and whatever the hell else made the trip. But honestly, I think that like this, like only to play devil's advocate to it, is that this with the way that it went down and like such a rushed area, like or rushed timeline, I feel like it more or less like fucked up their timeline more than anything. Like, yeah, it gave them
Yeah,
that drive and that desire to get it done. But I mean, yeah, let's be real though. They're heading into Philadelphia and it's probably gonna kind of end there. Feel if
I
any
hope
fan
so.
base doesn't have sympathy for shit going on, it's the ego. Like, there's gonna be people in the crowd with T-shirts of like fire emojis and shit, and they're gonna be like, I don't give a fuck the Rams, like let's go Philly, like go Birds. Like there are gonna be Philly fans that are just like, nah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But of course, as an organization, I'm sure they've made some kind of donations and accommodations and all that stuff. But Philly fans at the bottom. Did you see that Philly fan that went viral this week? That's probably what I'm basing my judgments off of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did.
that's a tough day at the
Okay,
office.
sure. Did you see the Eagles' reaction?
I did not.
Okay, so have you ever heard of Big Dom? I'm sure you've heard of Big
Hmm.
Dom. Okay, so Big Dom came out today. He's like they identified the fan, ban him from any future Eagles games, and they
Love that.
bought the lady Green Bay gear and sent it to her.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. Love that.
So
Love that.
yeah, they identified both
Yeah.
of them and helped her out a little bit. Got her
Yeah, yeah,
some new
that's sweet.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, good for them. Yeah, again, it always feels like it's not the actual Eagles; it's just where they happen to reside. It's the
yeah,
unfortunate
it's
area of the Eagles. But
yeah.
we will definitely talk more about the area of the Eagles. That area has been in quite the conversation lately in sports
Yeah.
discussions.
I do have a question for you though before we get too in depth here. I
Let's do
stumbled
it.
across this on
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Facebook
you had
today,
your
and
opener. Let's do it.
I was like, I need to get a live reaction. All right, so the question is, and this will be up in a poll for at least in Spotify because I know I can do it there, and if I can get poll anywhere else, I'll try. The question is, macaroni and cheese is shortened to mac, right?
Yeah,
Follow. Is it short for macaroni, or is it an acronym for macaroni and cheese?
I have heard this before because it is still MAC mac and cheese.
Yeah.
See, I think it's like ATM, where people say an ATM machine. It's
Yeah.
an automated teller machine. I
Yeah.
think it's that because you still would say mac and cheese. So then you're saying mac and cheese and cheese. So mac
Okay.
has to be
Yeah.
short for macaroni. That would be my only logic behind it. I
Okay.
think that was spoiler alert would be my decision is that based on ATM machine as a banker, that's one that
Yeah.
irks us to
Oh,
our core.
yeah.
And I say it myself. I'm always like, "Where's the ATM machine?" I've also caught myself now, like it's just kind of funny and ironic, but I can't stop doing it. Where the boys, no matter what game system is in their hand, I'm like, "Put the damn Nintendo down and come here," because that's what my mom used to say. So every time they're doing anything with any, like Kaylee's phone, I'm like, "Put that Nintendo down and come here." Like I just can't help it, and so it's
You
one like
old.
that. Yeah, I'm old. Yeah, so like I did it one day as a joke, and I was like, I can't stop now. Like it's a slippery slope. It's like that farmers insurance or whatever, where it's like becoming your parents. Like yeah, it's a slippery fucking slope. But yeah, that was one. But yeah, ATM machine is another one where like yeah, kind of things like that where it's like if you're doubling up the words. But yeah, I see that it's incredible that it lined up like that though,
You're
because you could
right.
just call it mac, and then that's mac and cheese. But mac and cheese would then be mac and cheese, which to be fair you probably can't have too much cheese in a mac and cheese. So mac and cheese is acceptable. But yeah, I would be interested to see how because I bet a lot of people don't know that. I remember
Right.
reading that one time and it just being like, "Holy fuck! Like, what are the odds of that shit lining up?" But
Yeah.
yeah, I bet a lot of people will look at that and then never look at the word Mac again. It's also funny for me because my son's nickname is Mac, so it's
Sure.
like I say the word Mac and macaroni and mac and cheese and mac and cheddar. Rand calls it mac and cheddar, and we call them all kinds of fun Mac names, and they're always mac and cheese related.
Fair enough. But yeah, so I'll put that poll up.
Love
I'm
it. Yeah, we'll have
excited.
to get
Hopefully, get
yeah.
some interactions going
Yeah,
and
yeah,
see what
that'll be
people say.
exciting to see where people fall.
Yeah, we talked about the NFL, so that leaves us with the schedule. The Chiefs play the Texans 4:30 Saturday. Then the Lions play the Commanders at 8 p.m. And then Sunday we have the Eagles versus the Rams at 3 and the Bills versus the Ravens at 6:30. So like huge weekend for college football. And then for what it's worth, Monday night we get the college national championship. So
That
Notre
was
Dame
really
versus
funny.
Ohio State.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that you were thinking ahead to saying about the college championship, and then you just said, "So a huge weekend for college football," and I was like, "That's not college, but it's okay." And then you
Yeah,
said college
probably.
national championship, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "Wait," I was literally like, "Wait, there's college football this weekend?"
Yeah, there is.
So I was just thinking though, so the Texans of course get slotted in at 4:30 on Saturday because they
Right.
have to, and then I was like, okay, and
At
then
this
basically,
point, it's just a rule of the NFL.
yeah,
We
yeah,
might
they
as well
have
put it
to.
on
I
the
don't care if they're a
books.
one seed or what. I don't like if they have a bye week. I don't give a fuck. Rearrange the schedule, make sure that they play Saturday at 4:30. Like if they're not playing at 4:30, like send it back.
Yeah.
Put these in order of, yeah, I guess like most exciting game. So most likely to not be a blowout. So like I like Bills Ravens at the bottom. It's the last game. It could come down to a 1 or 2 point game.
Oh, for
Do you
sure. That's
think?
got
Do
to
you
be the
think?
most exciting game.
Right,
looking at
right,
this
right.
lineup.
So that's number one. So then
Yeah.
like, do you think that I think that the schedule's almost kind of in order for it. I think the Chiefs smoke the Texans, but maybe not. I think that one could be closer than we anticipate. I think the Lions beat the shit out of the Commanders,
I agree with that.
and I think the Eagles beat the Rams. But do you think the Eagles beat the Rams more than the Chiefs beat the Texans? Is basically my question. Like where like
No.
rank these games in deficit, in point deficit.
Point
Because I
deficit.
yeah, like I have Bills Ravens as easily the closest deficit for sure
Yeah.
this weekend. Like that game's gonna be
I think
tight.
that'll be the closest game. I agree.
Yeah.
I think if I were gonna say deficit, I'd probably take the Lions versus the Commanders over the Chiefs versus the Texans.
Yeah,
I
you
think that
they
I think
run away
the
with it a
Lions.
little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I have respect for the Commanders.
Honestly, I agree,
They
yeah.
they are a year early right now, in my opinion.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They're what the
I-
Broncos like. They're if we won our game, like it was like
Yeah.
cool, you won, like that's
I
sweet. But like now
did
you about
see
to
a
play some big
stat,
dogs.
though, that there's been Jaden Daniels was the fourth rookie quarterback to win his first playoff game on the road. The other,
Three.
so there are three other ones. Two of them went to the Super Bowl, and the third lost the championship game on a field goal as time expired.
Damn.
So I guess history says that the Commanders are going to win this game. Um,
True, but I mean, yeah, it's
I can't say I would be shocked, but I'm not expecting it.
yeah, and yeah, honestly, that's I agree. Like I think that that becomes like because it could even be like a 14 point game, and like that's not insane for the Lions to win 28 to
Right.
14. Like that's good job, Commanders. Like you kept
Yeah.
it within a score or two, and then yeah, Chiefs Texans being 3 to 10 points, maybe 15, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Eagles Rams
For-
is pretty close, but I think the Eagles definitely pull away.
For
in
what
that
it's
one.
worth, Vegas agrees with me right now because the spread for the Lions game is minus 9.5. Spread for Kansas City's 8, and the spread for Philadelphia is 6. And then the spread for Baltimore is actually a favorite at -1.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we were pretty much right. We swapped those two games. Then
Yeah.
we were right. Yeah, I was thinking about that where I was like, that is the most exciting. And then in my
It
head, I
just-
was like, which one's the next most exciting? And then I was like, oh, Eagles Rams probably. And then I was like, oh shit, these are like kind of in order almost. Of which
Yeah.
is the most exciting? Like, yeah.
For sure. I just my problem with the Chiefs Texans is I don't see a lot of scoring. Like
No,
if it was
not
like
unless
if it was
this
like
is
a
like-
17 to like 8 game or something like that. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna be something weird just because
Yeah.
it's the Chiefs. But
I was gonna say
I
also though,
don't-
like it has been 20 some weeks of not seeing the Chiefs play Chiefs football. So like,
yeah,
is that gone or is this the breakout game? Like, is this the game where
I
they
don't
come
think
out and
it's-
put up 50 points and we're all like, oh, there it is? Like, because I
don't
feel like
think
we're
so.
just waiting for it. Like, do they not have that in them this season? Like, no,
don't think
no
so.
game over winning a Super Bowl with not a single game over 30 points
have
with
to.
20. That yeah, I guess yeah, they don't have to. If they don't need to, they don't have to. But
yeah,
one other thing I saw this, I guess, again, didn't even mean to, it just kind of happened, was my PMT plug, because they had mentioned this, that the Commanders, they have a record where it's happened like 3 times where a quarterback has had, or like Jaden Daniels has a game with no punts and no turnovers.
oh yeah, he has 4 of them this season.
Yes, and like
Yeah.
3 of them, it's been done where like it was like the point differential or something, like it's only been done like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
Here's what I don't like about that stat. They turned it over on downs a couple of times. and that doesn't count.
Sure.
That I don't. That's
It's not an official
that,
turnover. I get it.
but it is. It's
But
a
it's-
it literally, it's in the name. It's a turnover on it. It's just like punting
Yeah,
is
but
my
it's
point.
not a punt, right?
You're like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you tried, but like
Yeah.
you didn't like you still like you didn't get it. Like you know what I mean? Like, so it's because to give
Yeah.
them that, it makes it. Anytime you hear that stat, no punts, no turnovers, you immediately are like, oh, that include like they had the ball, they
That means it
scored, or
on every drive.
they scored on every drive, or the clock ran out on every.
Yeah.
Like they had it at the end of the second half and ran out the clock.
Right.
And so I've always taken that stat like that. And then Max pointed out on PFT, he was like, yeah, well, they did have a turnover on downs, and I was like, that is actually kind of bullshit. I was like, that's a dumb fucking stat to have.
Fair.
I was like, because I think there are quarterbacks, and I think there are situations where it has happened with no turnover on downs, because like the time of possession is just insane. They
Right.
score or they time runs out. But
Yeah.
I thought that was odd that because I've seen that stat hyped up a lot for Jaden Daniels this year, where it was no punts, no turnovers, and then I was like, yeah, but if they're turning over on downs because they're going for it on 4th and 20,
Right.
like that's
Yeah.
basically a fucking punt. Like you still turned it over, like you didn't get a first down. So, but anyway, yeah. So, yeah, tell me about your AG Brown update, because that's hilarious.
Yeah, so we talked about him reading the book on the sidelines. Nick Sirianni in his presser today said, like, yeah, I have no problem with it. Like, if my players need to read a book to get their heads right during a game, read a fucking book. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
So props to him. But
Yeah.
the funniest stat I saw in this, so Jim Murphy is the author of this book. It's Inner Excellence, Train Your Mind for Extraordinary Performance and the Best Possible Life. That's the book he was reading. And it went from 523,497th on Amazon's list to number 1 in 24 hours.
Dude, could you imagine being that guy though? Like
I know,
whatever
right?
whatever level of author you are, your life has changed now forever.
Yeah.
Like because now podcasts and news station,
yes.
everyone wants to talk to this guy and get
the-
appearances. Like he's gonna have to start being like, are you paying for my flight? Like
Yeah.
I have to be in
The-
LA on Tuesday and Miami on Wednesday. Like
The Philly News opened this morning, and both of the news anchors were reading the book.
yeah, that's
They're, like,
hilarious.
flipping
Yeah.
through it. And then they're like, "Oh, we're on air," and they put the books down. He's like, "We'll give our book report later."
Yeah, it's gonna be
So-
a thing for a little while,
for
but
sure, especially in the city of Philadelphia.
especially that, and if he wins the Super Bowl, like
yes.
that, you know that author, like he's gonna be there and celebrating with the Eagles holding the trophy. Like what's his name, Jim Murphy? He's
Jim
gonna be holding
Murphy,
the fucking, he's holding the Lombardi. This dude who's just was like, I need to write another book to pay more mortgage this month, and then all of a sudden AJ Brown's like, how about you retire this week?
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah, that's got to be crazy.
is.
Just number one on Amazon like that. I've seen a handful of my friends. The dude with the, are you at the bank? All right, cool. Now go in there and take out a loan for the rest
Yeah.
or whatever that one was. He just posted a screenshot of his Amazon order. He was like, I had to do it. He was like, I ordered it, and he was like, it's on its way. But that's crazy. That's hilarious though. That one little glimpse of things. The incredible power of social media and shit is wild. But
yeah, I couldn't imagine being that guy, and like you're just sitting there on the side. Especially like imagine he's not a football fan and has no idea what the fuck's going on, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Ding,
especially if
you got a check from Amazon." Ding.
I'm imagining like an old dude and his wife in like a house, like limited internet type stuff. Like
Yeah.
one of them has a flip phone. Their kids set him up an iPad so he could track book sales and stuff. And his iPad started ringing, and he called his kids and was like, "It won't turn off. It's just dinging all the because it kept going. The book has been ordered. The book has been ordered." Like he probably got like his iPad probably overheated because it got too many notifications because he sold a book. So. But that was incredible to see. So yeah, good for that guy. But in other football related news, Mike
time out
Tomlin.
just before we move on.
ahead.
He gave a quote to Sports Illustrated today. It's been a pretty amazing night, Murphy said when contacted Sunday after the game. I'm sitting here in my hotel by myself, and I was like, what's with all these messages? And then I saw what happened and was like, oh my God, that's crazy. Really neat. He added, it's really an honor to be part of his life and to have a meaningful place in anyone's life.
That's got to be cool. He as an author, like that's your whole goal is to write something that means something to somebody. So I mean, yeah, that's cool. He's got AJ Brown. That's like, this is how I get my head right.
Yeah, apparently he was a MLB prospect and had to retire due to vision issues. And so he became an author.
Damn.
Ended
Yeah,
up
good for that guy.
$90,000 in debt following the completion of the book. And a cosmic string of circumstances, donating his last $100 as a cash advance to feed someone in need. This seems like too sketch. Come on,
Too
man.
scared. Yeah,
Like
he's
this
all
seems
right,
like
now.
too planned now.
Yeah,
I'm
now
like,
it's AJ Brown knows him, and it's like they have an investment deal or some shit.
yeah.
But well,
Anyways,
anyway, yeah.
yeah.
So
So, uh, Tomlin.
Tomlin.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about him potentially being traded. Also, Mike McCarthy officially let go. So Mike
Oh
McCarthy
yeah, that
out in
happened the day
Dallas.
after. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I guess the
that
day of our
that's
release. Yeah.
so that was wild. So yeah, Tomlin's out. So or McCarthy's
McCarthy's
out.
out.
Tomlin says he's staying. He told teams to save their time. Basically said, you think the owners are pissed. I'm pissed too. That's how I'm wired. Like I read through his little press conference, and it was just like, yeah, like this is. I don't expect us to be this bad either. Like I'm all on board with getting better. That's part of the job. I enjoy the pressure, and so yeah, it feels like he had a good conversation with Pittsburgh, and he's going nowhere. If he's putting out a state, like if he's confident enough to put out a statement to other owners to say fucking save your time trying to put together a package, like I feel like he would be stepping on toes if him and Art didn't just have a conversation
Right.
that made him secure there, because then Art's gonna be like, whoa, no, I'm listening to offers, don't fucking tell people not to put shit together, like chill.
Yeah.
So I feel
Also,
like
the
it's
Steelers
secure.
are not ones to just move off of a head coach.
No,
They've
yeah,
had like
like
eight
it's
or something like that in franchise
right.
history. It's a real
And
low number.
I did
Um,
also see too earlier the stat of the like Tomlin's last however many playoff games.
yeah.
It's like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, um, Blake Bortles, Matt
Oh
Moore,
yeah.
and then like Russell. Like every name on there is a hitter
Yeah.
except for Matt Moore and
Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles. Like, and
Yeah.
even that Blake Bortles, that was the Jaguars' fucking AFC Championship year. So
Yeah.
like. It like every year that he has gotten to the playoffs in the last like 10 years, he has faced some like dynamic. Patrick Mahomes was the other one,
Yeah.
like some dynamic, crazy
Lamar.
quarterback, and Josh Allen and Lamar. That's the
Yeah.
other ones. I was like, I'm dragging on like 3 or 4 amazing names. I can't think of it. I was thinking past, but they're current.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's just getting dog walked by all these like current NFL
Right.
superstars, and so yeah, so like they lose the Super Bowl to the Packers, and then it's just been a shit show since. And so yeah, so it's so
Hard to blame him, right?
yeah, so
Yeah.
I think that's why the Steelers are their ownership's probably staying with it. Was that the? I feel like I said Packers. That's wrong. Oh yeah, because they beat the Cardinals.
Yeah, they beat the Cardinals.
They beat the Cardinals. They lost
They
to the
lost to
Packers.
the
Yeah,
Packers, yeah.
That's right. Yes, that's Aaron Rodgers Super Bowl. Okay, yeah. So anyway, Tomlin staying in Pittsburgh. So that feels like Pittsburgh's probably going to be good next year. I feel like they were on the cusp of it this year, so that they get a couple more things organized, like their defense stays put this year. Like I think they're going to be killing it. So
Interesting. I'm just watching. They said Shador Sanders is in town for the Denver, Dallas game that's on right now.
where's it at? Is it in Dallas?
In Dallas, yeah.
That makes sense.
Which
yeah,
goes along with
yeah,
another lead from today. Deion
Shador.
Sanders being linked to head coach of the Cowboys.
I think that's got to happen. The rumor came out earlier in the week that he's going to the Raiders, but I mean, like, if you're Dion now, like, you have a chance to take over Dallas. Like, you are the guy
Right.
in Dallas. Like, you are
Yeah.
a previous player. You are prime time. You get the Dallas green light. Like that's got to be tough to turn down. Like,
Right, but does he feud with Jerry? Because Jerry's not going to give up that control.
But see, that's why
maybe
I
he would to
I
Deion,
think
but,
to
like-
Dion. That's where I think that like that's Jerry's prized possession. Like that's his baby. And
He's
so like
still
I
selling
feel
jerseys with that guy's name on it.
that's what I'm saying. So like, yeah, like I feel like there's got to be some level there where Jerry also he's 117 years old. So like I feel like he's got to have a little bit of like I'm not gonna be around long term. Dion could do this long term. Like I don't want to die hiring an interim coach, then have the next owner have to hire the long. Like I feel like Jerry wants to leave a legacy, and hiring a good legacy coach would be the next move. So
Okay.
yeah, I could see Dion ended up in Dallas. I mean the Raiders. That's like I said, that's terrifying if he ends up in fucking Oakland. Like that's the worst. Having Dion, Harbaugh, Andy Reid, fucking it's the worst. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
We
will see, but
yeah, it's gonna
I think
be
it also, I wonder, like, does he get a job and then use that job and the power to draft his kids? Or does he wait till the kids get drafted and then go try to get a job at that team? Like, which way does he go? Like, because, like, the draft stocks are all over the place. And, like, of course, he's
Yeah.
going to want Travis Hunter, but that's going to be less likely. He's going to be way more likely to get Shador, and he's going to draft him way ahead of where he should be. So, yeah, that'll be super interesting to see. But, anything else NFL related? Any
I was
other
just gonna
foosball?
look up real quick where the Cowboys
fancy-
draft. Not till 13, so they'd likely have to trade up if they want Shador.
See,
They're
I don't
gonna
know.
have
Though. Is
to.
that what is
Gonna
the?
have to.
I don't. See, I don't know. I
'Cause
thought
it's,
should.
it's him and that other quarterback. I can't think of his name. Out of Oregon.
Gilbert.
Yeah, something like that.
Dan. Fuck. This I'm losing my mind.
I get it.
Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis
Cam Ward,
Hunter,
that's it.
No, Cam Ward's
He's the quarterback
Tennessee.
I was thinking about, but you're right, he is.
No, it's not Tennessee. Miami. He's from Miami. The other quarterback there, who is Dylan Gabriel? Gabriel. Dylan
Gabriel,
Gabriel.
that's the
That's a
Oregon guy. Yeah,
yeah, Gabriel. Not what I say.
I don't even
Gilbert. I
remember.
said Gilbert.
Gilbert, yeah.
Um, yeah, they have like right now, like this random mock draft I'm looking at has Shador going. Did I even pass Shador Sanders? Oh yeah, 6 to the Raiders, and that's why like yeah I don't because like I mean Cam Ward probably goes ahead of him. Abdul Carter out of Penn State is a good. Actually, I thought he said he was coming back.
No, the running backs for Penn State said they're coming back. Abdul declared.
Yeah. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the draft is going to be interesting this year. There's a lot playing, especially with Dion and like Shador, Travis Hunter, like and yeah, there's not really a ton of crazy quarterbacks this year. Like this is not a quarterback heavy draft. Like I said, it's Gabriel if he comes out, and then that's about it. Other than Cam Ward and
Yeah.
Carson Beck went transfer to Miami, so yeah, good stuff. Yeah. The draft is going to be crazy, but yeah, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Prime ends up.
Yeah,
um,
if he does go to Dallas though, I think they're gonna trade up and take Shador.
Yeah, 12th. See, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like there's a chance Shador falls to them, but yeah, I guess probably not.
There's no way.
Yeah, because the Jets
Tennessee
could use
needs a
him.
quarterback.
Saints
Cleveland could use a
him.
quarterback.
49ers could honestly even take him with Brock Purdy needing to get paid because if like
The
Brock's not the
Giants
guy,
need a quarterback.
the Giants do need a quarterback. Yeah, that's
Yeah, like
this
Vegas.
little clip I have is the Giants drafting Travis Hunter. It said the Giants could use both a wide receiver and a corner. Dog, they need a quarterback. They need someone to throw the ball. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I
like,
thought I didn't know anything about sports.
yeah, I don't. Problem is like, I don't know that any of the quarterbacks are worth trading up for, but like, if you don't, they are going to be gone in the first 5 picks, almost guaranteed.
Yeah, it is.
I personally think the Patriots are going to trade back with somebody.
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
if
I
one
don't
of
think
them's
that.
sitting
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
If one of them doesn't take a quarterback in the top 3,
They'll take a package for a handful of
Yeah.
picks. Yeah, especially now with Vrabel's in control. Like he's gonna make a smart move, and he's gonna unless he doesn't like Drake May. But I can't imagine that he took that role with the
yeah, but even if he
anticipation of
doesn't, he has Milton as a backup, which is wild.
That's true. Yeah.
So
that is
like,
true.
you got 2 good quarterbacks,
And I think
and you're not paying
Vrabel-
either of them.
Vrabel becomes a destination for quarterbacks. Like he could get a Sam Darnold, a Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Like if he wanted an interim quarterback, like I absolutely think guys would be like, "Fuck yeah, I'd go play for Vrabel." Like why not? Like
I agree, but I don't think he will because you
Yeah,
have two
again, yeah,
quarterbacks you're
I
not
think
paying.
Drake May is the guy. I was saying like if Drake May wasn't the guy and he wanted to test out Milton, he could bring in a vet to back up Milton,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like do what Darnold and Kirk Cousins are doing basically right now, but Darnold ended up getting the start. But yeah, to do that if he basically only if he didn't believe in Drake May. But I also don't think he would take that role and have gotten that if he didn't believe in Drake May. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know though because he couldn't prioritize getting back to the organization over just a singular player, which would obviously make sense to do. But
Anyways, we'll see. Anything else for NFL?
no, I was looking up. Draft is in late April, as always. It's in
Yeah.
Green Bay this year, so AJ and I will make that 16-hour trek just for you guys.
They might still have ice.
I was watching. I was like, "Did he freeze?" And you were thinking about it. He said, "Listen, I'm not opposed. If I can bring my ice fishing gear."
Anyways, the only thing I have to touch on with men's basketball, Michigan's up to number 20, up 4 spots from last week. So like, go them. Dusty May is putting the program back on track, which is exciting to see as a Michigan fan. But like, Duke looks real good.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, it's the Cooper Flag effect, though. This is one of those years where they have a Jason Tatum, a Paulo Banchero, a Kyrie Irving. Like, it's like, oh, cool, they got the fucking college MJ. It's over this year. they might flop in the tournament, but like they're just gonna run table
Yeah.
until then, and then that guy gets drafted, and then they go 3 or 4 years again being mediocrely good, and then they get that guy again. So
Yeah.
yeah, Duke does that. We always, as UNC, we get the collection of good players, like solid
Right.
players, and then maybe one star. Duke always seemingly gets 4 NBA players and then one fucking freak, and this year it's
And
Cooper
then one
Flag.
Grayson
So
Allen.
yes, yeah, fucking dickhead. I saw that the other night. Literally, he went viral. Literally, like the night after our episode, we had talked about him. He went viral because he did like an up and under layup, and he went viral where everyone was like, "Look, everyone used to like this is the same clip that Jordan did, and everyone replayed it 10,000 times for the last 20 years, and now white kids can do it with ease on a Tuesday night." And it was like, this is the level of basketball we're at now. They were like, Jordan was playing against fucking
Yeah.
insurance salesmen. Grayson Allen is doing up and unders. Like the levels are different on like the comparison of competitiveness. And it was like, that actually is kind of a good point. Like Jordan's singular layup would have been the greatest thing that had ever happened, and it was witchcraft. And now Grayson Allen is just doing it on a Tuesday. And so it was like, all right, yeah, that's a good point. But
I have a great segue for you into our next topic, unless you have anything else on men's
Nope.
basketball. Okay.
nope.
I did see that. I don't know which of the Ball brothers it was that gave out the rap, but he got signed by Death Row Records.
I did not see that. LiAngelo.
Yeah. Death
Nice.
Row Records picked him up. So
I did not even see that. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, that's
it
pretty
was-
sick.
I saw it like 2 or 3 days after we talked about it. And I was like, shit, I actually know what he's talking about. I still didn't listen to the music, but
Me neither.
I did see
The one lyric is just, and I think he says like he's talking about driving his car. He says, and I bend the corner like whoa, and like that's just the one where everybody in their head, everyone's just like me at no point, me for no reason at any point in the day. And I bend the corner like whoa, and that, like that's all that just keeps sticking in everybody's head. Like that does sound like an early 2000s banger, but
yeah.
there's also been clips going viral recently for like they had like the Ball family show there for a little while, like the Kardashian version,
Oh, okay.
where it was just cameras all through their house all day long, like making breakfast, and the brothers like throwing food at each other. So it was like a reality show, but it's
Sure.
skidded and staged. And one of the clips was like LeVar coming down the hallway like mad as hell, like going to pound on LiAngelo's door, and he stops and like he puts his ear up and hears, and then like hears him rapping and just goes like, and like walks away. And it was like, damn, like LeVar knew that he was onto something years ago, and it was like,
Yeah.
that actually is a cool clip. And then it was like other people were like, he heard him fucking, or he heard him doing drugs or something else. It was like, I don't want to go in there. And they were like, no, he heard him rapping. And then there's been clips of Lonzo and LaMelo both rapping, and they were like, who would have thought LiAngelo isn't even the best fucking rapper? They were like, Lonzo's in the NBA and he's a better rapper than LiAngelo. He just doesn't want to rap. He just wants to play basketball. And they were like, that's like, this family is every day there's a new surprise with the Ball family. Like you never know what you're gonna get at this point. So but yeah, perfect segue into our NBA. I don't have a ton. I know we have one big thing to talk about with your Sixers. I don't have a ton
It's
yet
not really that
because
big.
it's not that big, but it is kinda, especially for Philly faithful and being a local podcast. But we slash I am not, like we talked about, not totally invested into the NBA just yet. I've started watching, which is exciting. Like right now we're both watching the Mavs Nuggets game. But like I'm getting to that point where like with football only on a couple of hours each day
Yeah.
now on the weekend, like it's dwindling down and it's prime basketball time, and like throughout
After
the week,
this
like
weekend, it's really gonna
really, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you get a bye
You're gonna
week the
have
following
3
week.
more football games. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, and a week in between there, and
Yeah.
and like now I'm at the point too. Like I said, yeah, even between the week, like you're not looking at fantasy, like there's nothing. Like
Yeah.
so, it's just now it's basketball time. So yeah, we're gonna get involved in the NBA, but had a fun stat, if you'll call it that. The other night in the NBA, the Indianapolis Pacers, Indiana Pacers, not Indianapolis, Indiana Pacers put out a lineup of 5 players who set a record, if you want to call it a record, of the lowest total number of a jersey combined. So they had 5 players on the court. One guy with a 00, one guy with a 0, one with a 1, one with a 2, and one with a 3. So for a grand total of a combined math of 6, which is just not that exciting or any fun, but like we had talked about off air, was like, who
Yeah.
the fuck has time to realize that,
Who's
acknowledge
tracking this?
that, and then do the tracking? But like, if you do think about the odds and the statistical chance of that, like there's only 13, 14, 15 people on a team. The chances of 5 of them having 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and another 0 is pretty incredible. So, or not even a 4, just a
Yeah,
3.
just 1,
But
2,
yes.
3.
Yeah, so it's pretty goofy, but yeah, it was just such an odd thing with like jersey numbers in the NBA are just always all over the place. You can pretty much pick whatever.
Okay,
Blake
so-
Griffin, go ahead.
So jersey numbers have to be just 2 digits, right? So you can't get any lower than this. Is that right?
Yes, that's yeah.
Okay.
This is the lowest possible combined total. 6 is the lowest
Gotcha.
combined total you can get for a jersey.
Right.
So yeah, because you can't do more than one. You can't duplicate jersey numbers and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
like Blake Griffin was actually just on a podcast the other day talking about picking jersey numbers, where he was like, the one I hate the most, I hate seeing it, it looks like Photoshop when I see it, is like he played for the Nets for a couple weeks and he had a number 2, and then when he played for the Celtics, which was like a really odd stretch, he was like, yeah, I got told like I wasn't gonna play and I was just there because they needed to like fill a spot kind of thing, and I was like, okay. And so he was like, I took it because I wanted the money, and he was like, so I sat on the bench, and so he was like, I knew I wasn't gonna play, so he was like, when they told me to pick a jersey number, he was like, it's fucking Boston, so every goddamn jersey's in the rafters. He was like, so when you're like, pick a jersey, there's like 4 fucking numbers to pick from because they're either retired or they're on the team or they're on the practice squad. So he was like, there's legit only ever like 5 or 6 numbers that like a new guy can pick because they're all fucking retired. So he was like, I was 91, and he was like, I used to get the Dennis Rodman jokes all the time, and he was like, that's just like one of the weirdest jerseys ever. And they were like, and everyone's clowning him for it. And he was like, but honestly, I hate the 2 on the Nets more. He was like, I don't know why, I just fucking hate that jersey. And so it's just, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, the NBA is just so all over the place with jersey numbers. Like, it's not, it'd be fun if it was like the NFL where like big men were like 80 to 100. Like they had like group positions for numbers, but I do kind of like it. Yeah, just kind of anybody everywhere. You pick your own favorite number and just kind of rock with it. So
I'm waiting for a lineman to come into the NFL and wear like a number in
7.
the teens.
Yeah,
like,
7.
Like a low number.
Yeah, for no reason. Or like a quarterback for 99 or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the receiver with. See, a receiver can kind of do anything, but like 59.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like a 50s number would be so fucking weird.
Yeah.
What is the one? I think they don't do 50s because the numbers are too big. I'd have to double check that. I think there's nobody in. No, it's not 50s then. 77? No, that feels wrong too because there's 55s and 77s. Okay, I gotta double check that. Maybe it's basketball. I gotta double check that now because that feels wrong. Jersey numbers too wide. Okay, yeah, I might have just made that up. Never mind. Disregard that stat. I feel for some reason I felt like I had remembered a stat about being like, oh yeah, this number doesn't get used because it's too wide. But then as soon as I said that, I was like, no, I feel like I've seen every jersey number. Like, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, ignore that stat. So anyway, actual basketball talk, sort of.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Philadelphia real estate.
Yeah, so the Sixers announced this week that they are not moving to Center City, Philadelphia. After jumping through all the hoops, everything was approved. They were basically like, yeah, just acquire the property and start building. And then I guess Comcast, who owns the property in South Philadelphia, I presume they came in and were like, hold up a minute, hold up. You're not leaving here.
Yeah.
And so nobody really knows what the deal was that was struck or what it was. The Sixers came out and said, nope, we're going to stay in South Philly. We're going to build our stadium there, or arena, I guess you could call it. And we're going to share it with the Flyers. It'll be ready in 2031. So they're going to be, Comcast is already building up like the, like shopping mall, apartments, like all that stuff around, the 3 stadiums down there. And then I guess now they're going to be building a new stadium, or arena in this case, for the Flyers and 76ers to share. So
right now the Wells Fargo Center is 76ers and Flyers. They share that currently.
Yeah.
Okay.
As well as the Wings play there, which is the lacrosse team.
Interesting.
But
that
concerts and stuff. But
that is so cool. Like I love that they do that. Like that's so cool that like looking at the map right now, it's just a fucking sea of parking lots, practice fields, a baseball field, a football field, and then a fucking arena. Like a sports district is the coolest shit that any major city could have. Talked to Preston about it the other day. I was talking to Kaylee about it again today. I brought it up twice now where I was like, I was just talking to AJ the other day and told him that I might have to like defect and be a Penn State fan. And like what's weighing on my mind more and more now is encouraging the boys to be Philadelphia sports fans. Like you and Preston both telling me that like I'm a prime douchebag Philadelphia fan. And now like living like because I was just
put it on.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that's like I feel late to the party, but like I might just have to I might have to just designate it like that slipper's gonna slide right on. But yeah, so I might encourage them because A, it's one of the few cities that has all 4 major sports. And B, it's right down the fucking road. So like, oh my God, this is what I want for my birthday. Cool, let's drive there. I don't got to buy plane tickets to go see the Cowboys play. Like Joe keeps talking about the Chargers. Like, dog, I can't afford SoFi tickets. Like, that's like you want me to fly to LA International and fucking go to dude, come on now. Like, it's cool. That's your birthday present for the next 10 years. Like,
Right.
so yeah, so I kind of would rather them just because then it's like, oh shit, we don't have anything going on this week. We can get into the link for $47 because they're playing the
You'll
fucking
never get
Jets.
a link at $47. But
Never,
yeah.
ever, ever. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like it honestly though, I enjoy like the tailgating shit. Like I'd go down just to fuck around and cook out and hang out, walk to Wawa. Like I would go down just to fuck around and hang out and tailgate for a day
Yeah.
and then watch the game on a TV because you're still in the atmosphere and other people do
Right.
that shit too. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
yeah, to do that, to just drive 2 hours and be able to do that versus a plane ticket or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm really dragging my feet on it, and I'm gonna have to let them know that, of course, their second favorite team will always be the Broncos, and we don't root against them unless they play the Eagles. But yeah, I'm thinking that I'm gonna
Think of the
defect
AFC
them.
team.
Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, it's like yeah, Eagles would be my
Better than
favorite
the
NFC
Steelers.
team, and yeah, and that was the other thing too, where I was like, I don't know that I can like that. Like it would aggravate me to buy them like a Steeler jersey. Like I want a Kenny Pickens jersey for Christmas. Like no, Santa
He
said
plays
no.
for the Eagles now.
That's not what I meant. What did I say? Kenny Pickens.
Kenny
I meant
Pickett.
Kenny Pickens. I meant Kenny Pickens. Or George Pickens.
George
I always
Pickens, yeah.
I do the
I was like,
picks. The
something's
picks.
wrong here.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett to George Pickens fucked
Yes.
me up so much right
Same.
away, and everyone kept saying it so confidently, and I was like, "Am I the only one that keeps getting tripped up by it?"
Oh, no.
He got traded, and I was like, "Thank God, I'm never gonna mess that up again." And now I'm still fucking it up. Kenny Pickett, George Pickens, George, and this shouldn't be racist, but he does not look like a George. That guy doesn't look like a George. like Georges don't talk shit. Georges don't have swag. Like he doesn't look like a George. Like I don't like George for him. So I think that part of it too. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
got
George Pickens. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I couldn't imagine them coming to me and being like, "Yeah, I want a George Pickens jersey. I want like a classic Heinz Ward jersey." Like, no, I can't do that.
I can't stand the fact that all their sports teams match colors. I don't know why that drives me up a wall so much, but
See,
it's
that-
so frustrating to me.
Actually, I like that. Like the
Oh,
Flyers should be green, the Phillies should be
No.
green, or the Eagles should be red. Like like why would you not? Like it should be like a city color. Like when I think of Philadelphia sports, I think green. Like I think the city of
Well,
brotherly
sure,
love,
the
and then I think
Eagles,
green.
yeah.
So why are the Flyers, Phillies, and fucking
No, they're separate teams. They have their separate cultures and fans, like
what's the other team? Why am I drawing a blank?
the Sixers.
Yeah, Jesus Christ! Oh my God, I was like, what am I doing here? No, see, I don't know. Yeah, because like it. Okay, if it was lined up where like there were 32 teams in each in each league,
Yeah.
and they all shared major cities, then I think they should absolutely share colors. Because then
Okay,
it's
that's
like
fair.
you bond together and you are who you are. You
Right.
have each of your teams. But yeah, for a team like whoever is a team that doesn't have other San Antonio Spurs, like
Yeah.
you're black and white, but now you don't have a football team, you don't have a basketball, like you don't have
Right.
the other shit to do it. So
Yeah.
I guess I agree with you there that because they aren't technically related at all, like there's zero relation
Yeah.
between major league sports teams, that like it does make sense to have their own identity. But in my perfect world of my 32 major cities with 32 teams in each one, or one
Yeah.
each, and then that would be like, okay, yeah, this team is that color, those teams are this
Okay.
colors, because then it would be so sick.
Sure,
Because
the
imagine,
city has
imagine
a
like
color then.
imagine like the merch, like you like a fucking Nike hoodie with like the 4 logos on it, like that shit would be, you like, fuck yeah, this is my city, dude. Like that would be so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all right, I'm gonna come up with some Nike merch. We're reaching out to them tonight on Twitter.
So that kind of leads us into the NHL then, talking about the Flyers and Sixers sharing the arena. So I only have 2 things to touch on. Flyers and Penguins are tied at 44 points. They're 3 points out of the wild card position.
How many overtime losses do they have?
I don't know why that bothers you so much.
It bothers me so much. You said that day, and I was like, "Excuse me." You said, "Yeah, wins, losses, and overtime losses." I said, "What the fuck do you mean overtime losses?"
Yeah, you get a
It's
point
just
for
the
that.
weird. It's just the weirdest stat ever.
It is. But it works in the NHL. But what's really cool, Alex Ovechkin returned from a broken leg, and he is now 21 goals away from Wayne Gretzky's goal record for careers. He has Ovi, as they call him, Alex Ovechkin, has 873, and Wayne Gretzky has 894 as his career record.
And Wayne's number 1 all time. He's the Tom
Yeah.
Brady of the NHL. What is?
What's really cool about his, so he leads okay, so in the NHL you get a point if you score a goal or you have an assist. You have
That was
an
literally
individual
going to be
point,
my next question.
right? So like when you see like, oh, Wayne Gretzky has 2,857 points,
He's
He-
got 2,000 assists.
1,963, yeah. So like what's crazy is the fact that like you can take all of his points, You can take all of his goals away, and he still leads the NHL in all time in points
Who?
from just his assists. Wayne Gretzky.
So he has 2,000 assists.
Essentially,
1963, and then 894 straight up goals.
Right. Yes. And that gives him a total of points that's not even close.
Right. So you're saying if you took away all the 2,000 assists, wait, say this. Yeah, say the stat again because I fucked myself up.
You take away his goals, right?
It's 894.
894 goals, and he still leads the NHL in points on just his assists alone.
Oh, okay. His assists are greater than everyone else's points or assists and goals
combined. Correct.
Got it. Yeah,
Which is just a wild stat.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah. Like, yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I got it now. Yeah. It was just a moment of like the terminology was fucking me up, but yeah, it makes sense now that points is combined goals and assists. So you take away all of his goals.
He has 1,963 assists, and the next closest guy in points is 1,887. No, 1,921. I apologize.
Is that Ovechkin?
No, it's Jaromir Jagr.
Where's Ovechkin out on the list? Is he not an assist kind of guy?
For points?
Yeah.
Or just assists?
For points.
For points, he's at 1,582. So he has...
What place?
He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th on the all-time points list.
Damn.
He's pretty close though to a few. He's 8 points away from 10th, less than 100 away from 9th. So
in my NBA, I'm like trying to compare like how crazy that stat is, and it's like, okay, so Ovechkin can score and he sometimes passes, and it was like Wayne was passing every fucking time, and then also was scoring on everyone.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, it's incredible.
Wayne is kind of the LeBron where he's doing everything. He's passing, he's assisting, he's rebounding, he's scoring, and then I mean it's. Ovechkin's kind of your James Harden. He can do his assists, but he's just out there getting fucking buckets all day. Like
Not
his ratio. Cause I thought you were gonna say like, oh, Ovechkin's second, third, fourth. Like the ratios had to be there, but like, no, he has way less assists, and other people have way more assists.
Not to mention that right now, he's 24 games behind Wayne Gretzky in career games played. So Gretzky not only has that record, he has it in less games than almost everybody on the list.
But also Ovechkin is 1,300 points behind him, and he's got to get 1,300 points in 20 games.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah,
your points per game for Gretzky is fucking bananas. Like way higher than anybody else's has ever been. Like that's. He's got like Wilt Chamberlain rebound numbers essentially for points. Okay, that's.
It's just.
I've always known Wayne Gretzky was the guy for hockey. Like I did know that, and I've always known that like Ovechkin was kind of this cup and cut. Like he was the one to take over. But like seeing the difference between A to B and then the class of C is kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah,
like
that's
a jump.
Yeah.
Because that's like that's like kind of like with again the kind of reference it to LeBron, where like you can take LeBron's Cleveland career, his Miami career, and then his Los Angeles career, and if you break them up separately, they would compete all to be first ballot Hall of Famers individually. Yeah. You could take points, rebounds, stats, assists, championships, all that shit, and put it up with other people who have made it, and they're like all like, well, LeBron's Laker tenure was better than that guy in the Hall of Fame. So like, and he has done it in three separate careers. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's a solid ass stat. That's like I'm glad you put that one in there because that, like I said, for me is one where like I don't really know anything about it. So like to reference,
because
like
we
the
didn't get to
point.
watch it or grow up with it. You just don't realize how good Wayne Gretzky was at hockey.
It was.
He was
built a little different.
And think about it. That was back in the day, like when like you were hitting people, like you were getting knocked out because they were actually fighting, like
smoking cigars today, and doing coke and fucking halftime.
Like
and
they weren't
shit.
wearing
like,
helmets.
They're drinking beers and shit, ripping teeth out. That old school hockey, and Wayne was out there just skimming by people, no problem.
Yeah. Speaking of fights,
last weekend, solid fight night. The biggest takeaway is there's a fighter. Women fighters aren't known for being like these glamorous supermodel type babes. There's this chick last week at Mackenzie Dern. She was the main fight where she got a little bit of a booty on her, and you and I are both, left hand ass, right hand tits. You know, I'm both left hand guys. And yeah, so there was a moment where she is like on top of the girl and like on her knees. And like it just when your camera angle is down, it makes the ass just ginormous. And so like that went viral where everyone was like, why is it that every Mackenzie fight the camera angle fucking catches her just with the absolute dump truck of an ass?
Yeah.
So that was the takeaway of last weekend's fight. But no, I mean there were some seriously like some good fights last weekend. This weekend is gonna be a banger too. So yeah, super excited for that. Like this is the first main event since we finished with John Jones and Stipe Miocic last year. So yeah, this will be the first big event, first UFC 3. It was 310 that finished out the year. So actually that's a lie. It was 309, and then they did do that small event 310 in December. So yeah, it'll be the first big fight since John Jones' fight. So it'll be exciting. That also was someone from the Philly Sports, that Twitter thread I read with the guy that was yelling at the girl.
Yeah.
The Packers fan. There was a thing where someone was like, Eagles fan here, just saying, I think we should start a new trend where we send former MMA and current UFC fighters into the Eagles Stadium in opposing teams' jerseys just to see what happens. And it builds a picture of John Jones smiling. And it was like, dude, that would be that dude's worst day ever. He's like, you dumb fucking cunt. It's like, oh, your life is over now. Like, you're about to get humiliated in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to knock you out. Like, he's going to put you some weird fucking stance and just sit on you and tickle your ear for 20 minutes while you're crying to security. Like, he's going to make you cry in front of everyone. He's not going to kill you, but, like, he's going to embarrass the fuck out of you. So, yeah, UFC is back. Super excited. Yeah, this Saturday I will be glued in. We were right before air. We were going over our notes, and I glanced back to make sure I didn't have anything Saturday going on, and I don't. The only thing on the list is family movie night for the new Mufasa movie. So, I was like, yeah, we can get that done, and then I can get some fights in. So, but yeah, UFC is taking off. I'm excited for it. We got good fights coming. So and also Conor McGregor talking shit on Khabib and all kinds of other stuff, like big stars. So the rest of the year could go any way with fights. So we shall see. But I will jump down real quick and then you can take back over. Caitlin Clark, did you see this?
I did not.
So yeah, I did not see. I saw it originally and then I saw it today. It reminded me because she essentially had a situation where a guy started reaching out to her on Twitter and DMing her on Instagram and stuff, and was like, "The stalker, I'm gonna buy tickets. I'm gonna sit behind you. You're the love of my life. I'm gonna find you. Like all this crazy shit. Like I know where you live. Like all this crazy shit." She reports it. Of course, the police escalate it to the FBI. They do a quick IP address search, find out this guy's using like a public library and hotel Wi-Fi to send these fucking messages. They track him down. They take him into court. So today in court, he's like losing his mind and is like, no, we have an imaginary relationship. Had to be told by the judge to like shut up and stop talking and stuff. So like the guy's like a complete loony bin. I only brought it up because it was just like one of those moments where it was like, dude, like it has got to suck to be a woman in this world. Cause like no one is DMing Kyrie Irving. Like no one is DMing Aaron Gordon.
There's some flat earthers out there.
There definitely is. Actually, like they get those, but like and like, a lot of them like higher security and stuff. But like it's just different. Like they're like these are grown ass men.
Right.
Like there's just a line there, and so like and it literally popped up and it was like Caitlin Clark, comma 22, comma blah 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 blah, and I stopped right there and I was like, dog, she's a fucking child. Like she like I'm not that much older than her, but it's like. The next 10 years of your life are pretty fucking maturing. And so, like, she's still a child right now. And there's some creepy, grown-ass 50-year-old man that's just, like, obsessed with this girl he sees. I'm like, what a fucking sicko. So, yeah, random unfortunate news. But, yeah, I mean, they got him arrested. The FBI tracked him down pretty fucking quick when you're using public library Wi-Fi. So, yeah, he probably lives in the hotel nearby and is using Wi-Fi. So he's probably got shit wrong with him and things going on. And that sucks. But sucks worse for Caitlin to have to deal with that and be the target of it and all that shit. She's just trying to play some fucking basketball. And then he even said like she like the last like week she's like adjusted her public image and shit and was like scared to go out. And that's where like it hit home where I was like, damn, like that fucking sucks. Like I could not imagine. Like even as a guy, if I feel threatened like that, like I'm not probably scared to leave the house or change my appearance. Right. Like it is what it is. But like for that, like she's fearing for her life. So like yeah, that fucking sucks. But not super sport news, but it was referenced because as you're a big Caitlin Clark fan, and so we talked a lot of WNBA this year. So, but take me into some racing, give me around some laps.
There's not really too much to talk about racing. It's a little early. Just upcoming schedule. There's some testing in February for Formula One, and then NASCAR officially comes back February 2nd with some like preseason races that they do. But then the Daytona 500 is February 16th. But then just in local news, the Hershey Bears are leading their division by 6 points over the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins in second place. The Harrisburg Heat suck. They're 1-6 on the season, and they have 2 upcoming home games. Not this weekend, but the following one.
Love that.
And
Do we
then
think they wrap it up like the Stampede at any part in time, or are they like secure in a league? How does that work? Like, are they like a private organization that the funding is eventually going to run out, or are they like in a league type deal?
so they are in a league, which is a fairly good league, but the Harrisburg Heat kind of come and go. They'll play for 2 or 3 years, and then they'll go away for a year or two, and then they'll come back and play for 2 or 3 years. And then
Okay,
they'll go
yeah.
away
So
for a year or
they
two.
they're kind of Stampede-ish. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's one of those things where like they play against teams in like San Diego and Orlando.
Yeah, it's
and
like the cost of like how do you even
yeah,
make that work? Like, yeah,
right.
you're
And like who wants to come play soccer in Harrisburg kind of thing? Like
yeah. Who wants to come to Harrisburg for anything?
yeah. So kind of is what it is, but um they're doing it. They're there this season.
They're there.
I don't
Honestly, I might take the boys down to go see a game.
It's definitely cool to go see. It's
I've
big
seen
arena
one.
at the Farm Show Complex. So
it would be fun to see, but it's
yeah.
And as you have on here, Senators starting April of 2025. So we got a couple more months here before baseball Starts. But yeah, I'll definitely be at the Senators games a handful this year. We'll be chilling there.
Yeah.
So, and then you touched on your racing, and then I have a little bit of golf stuff. Golf starts this week. The TGL, the golf league that Tiger and Rory started.
Yeah.
Tiger made his debut in his own league and lost 12-1 in his first outing. It seemed to be a lot of fun though. There was a lot of clips that came out of it. Tiger was laughing at one of his partner made like a funny fucking putt and kind of flinched a little bit, and like Tiger was cracking up laughing, and like it basically is like what Live basically wanted to copy PGA and just remove all the restrictions and have a bunch of money flowing.
Yeah.
Tiger and Rory were like, let's like make golf fun. Like let's change it up so it's not so uptight, but keep the PGA kind of traditions. And so like that was the goal. But like you could tell they're still in the same attire. Like no one's out there in shorts and a hoodie kind of thing. But it just looked like they were having more fun in general. It wasn't so stringent and strict and like you need to move here. Like next up, Gilmore, happy. Like it didn't feel so fucking like tight and traditional and everything.
Yeah.
So it's a brand new league and they're just kind of trying everything out. But yeah, Tiger made his debut and they lost. Official PGA Tour events coming up. We have this weekend starts the American Express tournament, and then next week is the Farmers Insurance. So PGA is sort of kind of kicking off, even though it's still January. Masters isn't until I think April, so that's whenever like it really starts kicking off. So, and then the Live tournaments start in Saudi Arabia, of course, in early February. So so golf is happening. It's warming up. Golf is happening.
Golf is happening. Yeah, it's warming up down south, I suppose. At least it's supposed to be.
Yeah, good for you guys.
The only thing left I have to talk about, U.S. men's soccer. They have some friendlies against Venezuela and Costa Rica coming up. They play Venezuela Saturday at 3. I think they're both away. So they play in Venezuela and in Costa Rica. And then they play Wednesday the 22nd in Costa Rica. So just some friendlies coming up. I'm excited. They usually come up to the Northeast once or twice a year. I try to get out, especially the women's games. I don't know why women's soccer is so much more exciting than men's. I don't quite understand why.
I have my reasons.
I'm not going to argue it.
I have my reasons for volleyball. That's a very clear-cut reason.
Right.
I can watch women's volleyball all day long.
Yeah.
All day long. College and up, I can watch women's volleyball all day long. Don't want to watch men's volleyball. Women's soccer, I agree. Unless it's like World Cup and the USA men's team is actually good. Like I really just don't care. Like Ronaldo and Messi and Neymar, like none of them have ever really like, okay, cool. Like I'm locked in. Like I've never got that. And like I've seen like
Same.
I've never hated soccer. Like I grew up with my dad would make a reference of like a foot fairy kind of thing, and it was just like, oh yeah, sure. But then like I grew up with you and RJ, and so it was like soccer's not that bad. Like it's not as bad as everyone makes it seem. Like it's not this fucking dumb pussy sport. Like it's really not. And so like that's where I was like, all right, that's fun. My mom just said something to me one time. I was gonna come play HMMS, I think is what it was called with you guys that one year. I was like, gonna sign up. You and RJ talked me into it. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. They think it's fun. AJ has fun playing goalie. Like RJ does it. I'm gonna do it. And my mom literally was like, you can't talk without using your hands. Do you really think you can play a sport without using your hands? And like, I literally sat there and I was like, there's no way I don't pick that ball up. Like, there's no way that shit doesn't come from my chest and I don't just catch it. I was like, she's absolutely right. But like now as an adult, I'm like, no, I would have absolutely been able to figure that shit out. Like that's
Yeah,
just part
for
of it.
sure.
Like you learn how to do it. Like my parents were good at like reminding you of why you were gonna not do something and just be like, nah, you're gonna quit that. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. And then I would just quit it. So yeah, I should have just stuck with it and played some soccer. But yeah, it was again. So yeah, it wasn't one where like I hated it. So it
Yeah.
has just never caught my attention enough to like focus in on a schedule. And again, I think because it's like this majority like international global kind of sport, like it doesn't feel as home, and there's not this Philadelphia Eagles type team that I can root for.
Union.
There is, but they're not
play in South
advertised.
Philly.
They're not advertised like the Eagles. Like, you know what I mean? It's not. You don't ever see. You see people in the four major sports. You know, like the soccer is always that little brother, but people are like, well, that's a major sport, and like it kind of is, but like MLS is just always little brother to the four big leagues. So
for sure.
But yeah, again, I'm not. Yeah, again, but what we were talking about is that women's soccer for whatever reason always, even in just regular play, strikes you as more interesting than men's for some reason. I don't know. Like you said, I don't know what it is. It just feels more fun when it's women's soccer.
You're probably gonna be able to answer this, and I don't mind saying it on air. Went to high school with him. Cameron, really good at soccer. He played for the Union.
Cameron Alexander.
Yes.
He is a general manager for West Shore Home in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
Which is like a legit role.
Yeah.
It's not like your average branch manager. Because
Right.
like I always was like, branch manager's got to be like a fucking 200K role. And then I got there and was like, this shit ain't fucking. That's not that.
Yeah, they don't get paid that much.
GMs at West Shore Home do like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Like that. That's like because
Yeah.
you're like the warehouse manager, the sales manager, the service manager. They
Right.
all report to that guy. And so like he was working, I believe, up here as a salesman in Mechanicsburg, and then got like a GM or sales role or whatever. And because we were opening an Orlando office when I was working there, and he got down there. But yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he was
went
good
to their
as
like
fuck.
academy, and
That's
I don't know that he officially played on the team, but he was definitely in their academy.
That's sick though.
Yeah.
Well, that's also like what was her name? Cassie Pecht. Was a Gatorade high school Gatorade Player of the Year, and then went to Duke to play soccer.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Like those were the ones where too. Like I always was like, these guys are all my peers. We're all pretty similar. And then like I'd come into school and I say they're like, Cassie won Gatorade Player of the Year. She's going to Duke, and I was like, okay, all right, I was wrong. Like,
I just smoked a joint in the parking lot.
Yeah, I was like, I just ate 2 McDoubles for breakfast because I know the guy that works for McDonald's. So how does that feel? Like it was just we were on way different levels there. So yeah, good for her though. Random shout outs to Cassie Beck and Cameron Alexander for being soccer goats of Cumberland Valley this week.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna randomly tag them both in this. And they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, listen, you need to listen to the whole episode. In the final few minutes, we'll give you a little shout out.
Yeah, for sure. From what I can see on LinkedIn without being creepy and clicking on her profile, she's works somewhere in Tampa for some Salesforce. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, she did. Actually, that's so weird. I reached out to her one time when I worked at West Shore Home about Salesforce. That's so weird that those two names just got connected. Cameron Alexander working at West Shore Home, and then Cassie Beck when I worked at Salesforce. We were 100%. We were doing like a Salesforce project. I was on LinkedIn looking at Salesforce stuff and was like, oh shit, I technically know somebody that works there. And I think I shot her a message. I don't know that she ever answered it on LinkedIn, and I was like, hey. Questions for you, but yeah, I think she's like a sales rep for it. But yeah, that's wild that those two people just came up. It just came up in soccer references, but that's so weird.
Yeah.
What a weird simulation.
Right. All right, I'll take us out with a fun fact. 1 to 7. Pick a number.
What are we watching right now? Give me 2.
2.
Yeah.
Roughly 94% of people to have ever lived have died.
Roughly how many?
94% of people who have ever lived have died.
Damn.
So yeah, imagine there's like, I think we just hit 9 billion people. 8?
Is it 9?
Yeah. Now we gotta look it up. World population.
8 billion.
Okay,
yeah,
8 billion. Yeah.
it's-
So we just hit 8 billion people, and that's only 6% of people to have ever lived.
So I also have that Facebook post. I touch on it every year when it comes up into memory. The time frame between 6 and 7 and 7 and 8 and 8 and 9 and 9 and 10 are all getting significantly smaller. We are gaining a billion people at a fucking wildly increasing rate. Like it was 6 to 7, it took like 20 years or some shit like that, and then like 7 to 8 took like 12, and it was like, oh, slow down. And so it's kind of crazy that like Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can see it if you type in world population, that AI graph right there. Like it just
Yeah.
fucking 99 to 2012 was a 13-year span for a billion people, and then it was a 12-year span. Well, actually, now it's going backwards. It's regressing at
Well,
24
that's because we
years.
had COVID and so many people died.
Oh, interesting.
Think about how many people died worldwide from COVID
See, I feel like this graph
without
is
getting
different though,
political on
because
the
I
actual
remember,
number.
yeah, no, yeah, yeah. But either way though, because yeah, it's 14 years here, 13, 12, 13, 12, and then 24. So that I feel like the graph I saw before was such a bigger number. Maybe not though. I was probably wrong on that too. Jersey numbers and world population don't count on me. All right, cool. Well, yeah, you're one of 6% of people to ever have lived. That also, what's that dude's name? Neil Tyson, Neil deGrasse,
Neil
Neil.
deGrasse Tyson, yeah.
Yeah, that it. He did one of those ones the one time where it was like the chances of you being alive right now, like
Oh, yeah.
you cannot even fathom the
Calculated, yeah.
you like you literally can't like it's that thing where like people are like, oh, everyone talks about $1 trillion, like you can't even imagine a warehouse big enough to hold $1 trillion, like you cannot even fathom like the chances it took for you to be you and to come out alive, and it's like that actually kind of makes sense because you think about all the times that you're releasing life out of your body, like how many
Yeah.
of those actually obtain and turn into a human. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, population numbers always fuck me up. That's one like I'll be thinking about that now for a couple of days. Every time I see somebody with a
Yeah.
baby, I'm like, you're done in the space left. Stop, stop.
I mean,
Fucking-
we're a lot better off than some other countries. So,
Oh yeah, facts. Yeah, facts.
you know, it's always it's not the population that's the problem. It's the distribution, specifically of food
Yes,
and water. That is the problem.
Because like India, for example, like
Yeah.
and trash like that. That is
Yeah.
always one where like that is so undervalued.
Trash.
Is like trash dispositions,
Yeah.
like getting rid of trash and being able
What
to
did-
maintain it and utilize it and shit. Like
what did
India
we
is just
watch?
insane.
We watched a documentary the other night. I think it was on Netflix about Amazon and trash.
Oh yeah, I've seen it before. Yeah, because it all
Yeah.
just floats there essentially. Like it
Yeah.
kind of like that's the only place that doesn't have like a barricade to keep it out or the human force to need it out
it
or
was
whatever.
I cannot for the life of me think what it was called.
I don't know, but
Buy
I'm really
Now,
upset.
the shopping
I'm really-
conspiracy. That's what it's
I'm
called.
really upset
Documentary
that
on
you're
Netflix.
really upset that you're watching documentaries on Netflix and not Breaking Bad.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
you
I
brought it
thought
up.
we were watching
so,
Lost. I
yeah,
thought
we
we were
are
watching
watching Lost, and my wife is hooked. So,
Damn it. Gonna have to
um,
finish Lost first. That's fine.
it's gonna take
Is
a
there like
while.
isn't there like 12
There's-
seasons?
There's only like I think it's 6 seasons, but there's like 25 episodes in each season.
Are they 45-minute episodes
Yes,
or 20? God,
45.
damn.
Yeah, because it was a full hour show,
Shit.
so it's technically like 42 and some change. But yeah,
Damn. Okay,
Yeah,
well, I want Breaking
so-
Bad on deck. I want them in the bullpen warming up. I want them sitting courtside taking their sweats off, powder in their hands with
it's
their
gonna be
hands
a
on their
while
knees.
before we get through those. But yeah,
I'm not letting up because it's so damn good. Because I'm watching Better Call Saul now too, and Kaylee keeps walking by and she's like, "I don't know if I've ever seen this." I'm like, "You haven't. This is Better Call Saul. It's not Breaking Bad." And then I keep seeing those Facebook posts. So I tagged you in one, so now every other fucking post is a Breaking Bad post talking about the scoring and the rating of the episodes
Yeah.
and stuff. And there's one character that gets shit on all the time for just how terrible she is. She, as an actor, has come out to be like, you guys know I was acting right. Like, you don't have to call me a cunt in my DMs. Like, that's not who I am. That's what I was told to say. Can you please stop? Like, she's one where she's like, can you guys please separate character and actress? Like, this is fucking insane. And so people are like, you actually did it too well. We hate you. Like, you actually acted too well. We fucking hate you. And
kinda
then there's
sad.
it is like, but like she played the role so well that it's like when you see her face, you immediately think of that role. Like you're just like, oh, you fucking bitch. And then the other character in there that is like there's another episode. It's a really odd one. The directors made their sense of it. They said that they wish they didn't make it the way they did it. They dragged out a non-storyline for like it felt like they were on a writer's strike and just needed to make an episode and like.
you're really selling it, if I can say.
These two episodes individually, they popped up in a meme today where it was like Breaking Bad's a 9.9 because of these two. It's the girl that's the actress, and then the other episode they're chasing a fly out of a lab for fucking an hour, and it's the dumbest thing ever. They're talking, there's a lot of dialogue, you're learning a lot of shit like what they're talking about, like,
Yeah.
and it's like flashbacks and stuff. But ultimately, like they're in a lab chasing a fly for an hour, and like he is just like having a mental breakdown. So he's like, I need this fly out of here. Like, can be no contaminants, and the other guy's like, you're fucking crazy. I'm just gonna start cooking meth without you. And he's like, get rid of this fucking fly first. So you deal with that for 45 minutes. And so you're like,
Oh,
what the fuck? But then it all
that
makes
sounds
sense
so
and
exciting.
shut up. It all ties back in and it makes sense. And that's where like there was a picture of a fly and a picture of Skylar and it posted the two of them. And it was like Breaking Bad would be a 10 if it wasn't for these fucking two. And because Breaking Bad has a 9.9 rating on whatever
Yeah,
that app
IMDb.
is. Yeah, so there's another one too. It had a green logo. I forget what it was. But yeah,
Rotten
IMDb has it.
Tomatoes?
No, it was something else. It was like it was known but not super well known. I'll have to
Gotcha.
find it then. But yeah, it was like Breaking Bad's a 9.9 because of these fucking two. It wasn't for the Fly episode, and it wasn't for her being such a bitch. This thing would be a 10.0 for sure. And I was like, that actually, yeah, the Fly episode is real painful. But that is like literally the only episode I could think of that's not a great episode. But then the next 2 or 3 episodes, you're like, oh, okay, now I get it. Like they had to build that up and explain the dialogue and get him in this situation. So, all right, yeah, go watch Breaking Bad.
I
Watch it
won't,
without Jamie.
but
Watch it without Jamie.
I've considered it.
Watch
The,
without
the
Jamie.
problem is the fall is like the few TV shows that I do watch, they're all on during the fall. And so
Well,
like
then we're
well,
springtime.
in
This is
winter.
it.
So
Yeah, we're winter. This is springtime,
Well,
baby. We're almost there. We're in the home
some of
stretch.
them are wrapping up, but some of them go like some of them run like October to like May.
You can
Sometimes
squeeze in
April.
a couple episodes
So,
of Breaking Bad. Like I said, you're
We'll see.
reluctant to watch it, but if you take that bias out, like I said, because it's not just me. If you don't trust my opinions, like every single person I've been like, AJ's never seen Breaking Bad. They're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, dude, I know. Like even Rayan was like, dude, he's gotta fucking watch it. And I was like, I'm telling him. So yeah, I need you to watch like the first season, and then like you can stop,
That's the
wait for
problem is
Jamie or
everybody's
whatever.
like, oh, it's so slow to get into. And
No, see, I
blah,
told
blah,
you. I always when I told you, I said the first season's slow. I put it on. I was like, this shit is not slow. It's like an episode or two where they're like explaining him just being this boring teacher, and then it's just fireworks.
Right, right.
It
But
is.
you also know everything that's coming already. So like, you
I
don't
remember
know
the
what it's
anxiety I had watching it. Like it is one where you're just like you're just like, fuck. Like, is he gonna get there in time? Like it has you, and it's one where there's multiple storylines going on. So it's like he's working on this, and this guy's working on this. Like everything kind of interjects and shit. Oh, dude, please go watch it. Please just go watch an episode.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right.
Can't make promises.
I need
I'm
everyone to
busy
comment
this
and tell
time of
AJ
year.
to I need everyone to comment and tell AJ to watch Breaking Bad. That's how we'll know that you listened
100
this far
likes
in
and
the
I'll watch
episode.
Breaking Bad.
I'll make that happen. I'll make that happen.
All right, guys. We appreciate you as always.
Yep.
Have a
GG's. Happy
great
Wednesday.
week. We'll see you Thursday night.
Like and subscribe.
I don't know if we'll go live Thursday night. We'll discuss.
I was gonna
We'll
say,
find
yeah,
out.
we'll figure out what
Nothing
we're
going
doing.
on. So
Yeah.
we'll go from there. We'll see you Thursday. Have a great Wednesday and Thursday, and take care.
We'll see you then. GG's.